to pound the pavement and open doors of opportunity for our young people to be celebrated and for our young people to have opportunities for greater future. Push Excel has been a change agent like no other, and we are grateful for them being a part of the Rainbow Push family. We have a video we're going to share with you, a little highlight video of Push Excel, and then we're going to show off a little bit some of the products of Push Excel, but watch the screens.
And popular personalities around the cause of motivating children to stay in school and to push for excellence.
Because I am somebody. My mind is a pearl.
Each year for the past 32 years, we gather on the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, not only to raise scholarship dollars for deserving students who can't afford college, but to shine a light on personalities whose life and work inspires student achievement and parallels our cause.
When Reverend Jackson gets in the classroom or whenever he's giving a lecture or when he's walking in the hallways of universities and or schools, he has 5 A's that he reminds the young people about. Yeah, these 5 A's of excellence. Number 1 is attendance. That's right, A for attendance, making sure that you're in school. Secondly, it's paying attention. That A is attention. Thirdly, it is the atmosphere. When you show up to school, what do you bring to those classrooms? Then last but not least, it's your attitude and your achievement. The right attitude is what helps you to achieve.
In order to better understand why these programs work, we need to get behind the scenes to see how Push Excel motivates and mobilizes young people and the communities around them.
Today at Virginia Union, for all of you young men, Stefan got accepted.
The first time a young person walks onto a college campus and suddenly feels that this could be their future, amazing things begin to happen. Horizons expand, self-confidence grows, and opportunities feel within grasp. For the past 21 years, Push Excel has sponsored tours for thousands of students to visit historically Black colleges and universities. These tours show young people what's possible, how to set their goals, and how to achieve them.
Hey, Black child!
Let us remember that there's a creative force in this universe.
The Push Excel Inspirational Speech Oratorical Program, shepherded for many years by the late Orly Saunders, was designed to focus young people on the power of eloquent, persuasive speech. Both Dr. King and Reverend Jackson credited their phenomenal leadership abilities to speech contests they entered as children.
We've got young people with our oratorical contest as young as 6 years old. So while we basically focus on the college bound, we're also interested in the pathways and the pipeline to college. We are fully engaged in the process of making educational opportunities available to young marginalized people.
Push Excel launched its STEM Enrichment Academy in 2011 in partnership with tech leaders. They built a Saturday program with a curriculum that includes web design, app design, robotics, coding, building video games, and the mechanics of flying drones. Students who are part of the Push Excel programs show improved grades and test scores in math and science.
There are critical issues impacting public education today. And as a direct result of that, Push for Excellence is committed to addressing the issues that I will describe on a proactive basis as opposed to a reactive basis. And we're doing so through the launching of our Critical Thinking series, which is focused on shaping America's education agenda. Throughout our Critical Thinking series, we invite experts and practitioners from a local level as well as the national level to engage in critical think tank discussions about issues that impact Black and brown students on a day-to-day basis.
I think that we have to get the Push Excel ideology in every public school district in America. Teachers have to have high expectations. Parents must dream beyond what they can afford to push their children to something better.
If it wasn't for Dr. King and Reverend Jackson fighting for education, civil rights, and economic stability in Black communities, I would not have been able to grow up in the neighborhood I did, attend the school of my choice, or enjoy the diversity that I did in the classroom. I'm loving my career choice and the fact that I had choices.
Since Push Excel began its scholarship program, they have awarded over $10 million to deserving students enrolled in colleges and universities across the country.
Everybody has a right to education, and not having to worry about the financial burden that can potentially come with pursuing your education is a blessing. I personally was able to receive this scholarship more than once, and I am forever grateful to Rainbow Push because without this scholarship, I would not have been able to attend school.
The scholarship that I received made it possible to pay off one of my loans, and that's something that I'm very appreciative for. Thank you to anybody that made the Orly Sanders Scholarship possible because you gave students the opportunity to further their academic careers and reach their personal goals, and that's something that we will always remember and we will be grateful for.
Being selected as a Jesse Jackson Fellow has truly changed my life. It has vastly expanded my network, connecting me with numerous amazing friends and mentors who I will lean on for years to come. Also, introduced me to the company of Toyota. I never saw myself working for a car manufacturer. However, after experiencing the culture, environment, and people, I realized Toyota is a place I could be for years to come.
I really want to take this time out to thank you all so much for all of the effort and resources you have poured not only into the organization but into these scholarships. Because of these resources, I am able to get that higher level education and invest back into myself the same way you all have invested in me.
You can support more of the dream by contacting Push Excel.
Thank you so much for joining us and helping to make a better future today and for generations to come.
Thank you.
Push Excel. Not only was I touched listening to the young people, but I was also just taken aback by what I heard, which needs to be repeated and celebrated, that Push Excel has been responsible for nearly $10 million of scholarships. Now that is deserving of a hand of appreciation. Come on, put your fork down just 1 minute for $10 million. Tell your neighbor, for $10 million, you can drop your fork. Tell them. Likewise, though, in addition to the educational investment that has been made financially, the investment that has been made into our young people has been unparalleled. And as you saw on the screen, the oratorical contest, the oratorical experience, the oratorical presentations have been a cornerstone of the experience of Push Excel. And we are grateful tonight to have Dr. Olivia Porter and some of the amazing students from our oratorical piece of our organization are going to come with their presentations and share. Give them their undivided attention and a whole lot of love, Dr. Porter and our students from the oratorical program.
Hello everyone, my name is Faith Jenkins, and ever since the age of 4, I've recited speeches and poems that represent today's theme, the perilous journey from slavery to equality. As a matter of fact, one of the first speeches I recited was about a former slave who fought for her freedom and used her strength to free others. Now, I present to you John Baptiste Mitchell, who will recite the same speech as I did. He will recite Harriet Tubman by Eloise Greenfield.
Harriet Tubman didn't take no stuff, wasn't scared of nothing neither, didn't come in this world to be no slave, and didn't stay one either. Farewell, she sang to her friends one night. She was mighty sad to leave them, but she ran away that dark hot night, ran looking for her freedom. She ran to the woods, and she ran through the woods, with the slave catchers right behind her. She kept going till she got to the north where those mean men couldn't find her. 19 times she went back south to get 300 others. She ran for her freedom 19 times to save black sisters and brothers. Harriet Tubman didn't take no stuff, wasn't scared of nothing neither, didn't come in this world to be no slave, and didn't stay one either, and didn't stay one either. Thank you.
One of the many benefits of participating in the Oratorical Society is being able to hear the great voices of poets, playwrights, and authors. This exposure has inspired many of my peers to write speeches about their own journey. Here's Cara Von Braun reciting a piece she wrote herself entitled, "What is Equality?"
Equality. What does it mean? Is it someone, somewhere sharing the same dream? Is it a person walking down the street with another on the same side? Is it a politician getting the same chance to thrive? Is it a brown child or a white child suffering gun violence fatigue? Or is it a mother that's on the same level as her male colleague? Is it a person of different religion getting treated as a human being? Or is it two different ethnic families just having fun sightseeing? Is it an activist sharing a platform? Or is it a person of color being serviced a norm? Now, during this entire time, you are probably wondering, when is she finally going to get to the point? Well, don't worry, because after all of this time, I finally have an answer for you all. And that is that equality is everything I've said thus far. It's the dream, the streets, the politician, the brown and white children, the Republican, the activist, the person of color, and you and me. Because we are all examples of equality. Right now, if all of you of different skin color, religion, culture, background, and economic status were to look around you right now, you would notice that you are together in a room, a non-segregated room. And that is exactly what equality is. For decades, our ancestors had dreamed, prayed for this day to come. The day where we can eat, sit, jog, run, sleep in harmony without having to worry about what we're doing is against the law and we'll get arrested for it. Now, when I am telling you that it has been a long journey for us to get here, it has been a long journey for us to get here. But when I tell you that we are here, I'm telling you that we are here. Thank you.
The journey of Black people was also represented in unconventional types of poetry, such as poetry slam. A great example of this is Letter to Your Flag, written by Ronald Vincent, which will be presented by Christiana Gray.
I pledge allegiance to your flag of the United States of America and to your republic, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. For who? For you? For some? Not for us, not for our people. So please stop saying we're equal. With your flag of red, white, and blue in one hand, you beat us until we were black and blue. Beat us until we were numb. Beat us until we can't walk straight. And then you put us in chains, if we're lucky. But for the people who weren't so lucky, you tell us to put our hands up as some type of sick tribute to your privilege. And then you pull the trigger. Pull the trigger until our bodies lay down on your ground. Pull the trigger until we make your evening news. And then when our children cry, we have to look our children in the eyes and tell them they have to be cautious. That when they walk your streets, they have to do so in fear. They have to spend an entirety of their life looking over their shoulder because you will hunt them down and you will bury them. Either in a prison system that aims to disenfranchise or the dirt beneath their very feet. And it's all because of that same racism that you all love to say no longer exists. But we all know that racism is the reason when we want to put a hood on, we resist. When we want to go shop, we're watched. When we want to go get these jobs, we're dismissed at the door. That racism is the reason that when I want to say your Pledge of Allegiance, it feels a lot like a root canal or a bullet in my back or a baton to my head or tear gas at a Black Lives Matter protest. It hurts that I have to remember you will happily invest more money into the preservation of wildlife than you ever will into the preservation of Black life. Let me ask y'all a question. When you all turn on your TVs and witness another Black body laid down on your concrete, what do you see? Another murder? Another sad story? Another funeral? Do you see the aftermath? I see a little child that lost their father. Another Black woman trying to raise a man, which leads to another Black woman that outlives her adolescent son in this country, right? This is a culture that lacks equal rights for Blacks, and we love to say, Black don't crack. While y'all shatter our melanin like glass, my back breaks for every memory I try to erase within your war zones. It's like, nice. Rebuilding my PTSD, it's on its way to the surface, and my dislike for this country reminds me I'm far from patriotic. So it's a little ironic that I pledge allegiance to your flag of the United States of America and to your republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. For who? Thank you.
A huge step towards equality was the election of Chicago's first Black mayor. Presenting Judah Morgan, who is a Push Oratorical alumni, he will be presenting Harold Washington's acceptance speech.
Tonight, we are here. Tonight, we are here to celebrate a resounding victory. We fought a good fight. We finished our course, and we have kept the faith. We fought that good fight with unseasoned weapons and with a phalanx of people who have never been involved in a political campaign before. This has truly been a pilgrimage. Our government will be moving forward as well, including more people and more kinds of people than any government in the history of Chicago. Today, Chicago has seen the bright daybreak for this city and for perhaps this entire country. The whole nation is watching as Chicago is so powerful in this. Oh yeah, they're watching. Out of the crucible of this city's most trying election, carried on the tide of the most massive voter turnout in Chicago's history. Blacks, whites, Hispanics, Jews, Gentiles, and Protestants of all stripes have joined together to form a new democratic coalition and to begin in this place a new democratic movement. We intend to revitalize and rebuild this city, to open its doors and be certain that its babies are fed and its old people are fed and well housed. We intend that our city will grow again and bring prosperity to all of its citizens. We have been victorious, but I am mindful that there are many people who are not a part of our campaign. But that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. You never get them all. That's why we have a democracy, because there are many opinions as diverse and multi-ethnic as the city of Chicago. To those of you who supported me, I offer my deepest thanks. I will initiate your reforms, but I charge each and every one of you to think about the divisions that have plagued us. Each of us must reach out in open arms. Together, we will overcome our problems and restore Chicago to its proper position as one of the most dynamic cities in all the world. Thank you.
The journey towards equality is far from over, but we have come so far from where we started. Our amazing playwrights, poets, and authors have given us the realization that we have greatness within all of us, and we have really used that in the past years. Now, I present to you Bradley Holt, who will be presenting excerpts from You Have Greatness Within You by Les Brown.
You have greatness in you. Number 1, don't let your dreams die with you. Number 2, program your mind, or your mind will be programmed. I encourage people to read a minimum of 30 to 40 pages of something positive every day. Number 3, eliminate negativity. And the other thing is upgrade your relationships. Number 4, it's all about attitude. Number 5, you have greatness in you. I don't know you, but here's what I know based upon my own experience. You have the ability to do more than you could ever begin to imagine. Number 6, believe in yourself. Booker T. Washington said, judge a person not by what they accomplished, but what they had to overcome for their accomplishment. And finally, number 7, don't reject yourself. Don't discount yourself. The reason I'm standing up here telling you this speech and you're seated out there I represent the thoughts you have rejected for yourself. And remember, you have greatness in you. Thank you.
thank you for listening to what my fellow peers and I have worked so hard on to present to you today.
Come on, come on. Give him one more round, come on. We want to respect our serving team. They're getting ready to serve dinner, but can we give a hand to Dr. Porter for an amazing job?
I guess I'm supposed to give a speech. I don't know what to say. How do you follow up this? I'm telling you. They work with me once a week on their oratorical skills, and I'm so pleased at how great they are doing. Not only do they know a lot about diction and articulation, and they memorize these great poems and speeches, but they're also great people. They learn about teamwork. They support each other. They learn about flexibility, being adaptable, handling rejection, handling embarrassment. All of these are very important skills that will help them in any career that they choose to embark on. And I'm so proud that I have this group of orators in my society. Yes, yes. And especially these two. What's that? What? I was 25 before I could do what they could do. Seriously, seriously. So you all have greatness within you, and we see, and without, I mean, on the outside, they are great. So thank you all too for being very supportive audience. This is awesome.
Stay here, stay here. I know the servers are bringing out dinner. We can't take this picture without having Reverend Wilson up here. Come on, Reverend Wilson. Show your love for our executive director. And we surrounded tonight's event around a theme, a different world. It's a different world, and a different world was a show that some of us watched growing up, and some of us were a little old when we started watching it, but we appreciated the amazing gifts of that talented young ensemble and the resident assistant that was known as Jaleesa Vincent, who happens to be an educator, founder, producer, actress, and she's here tonight. She's going to be honored later, but she's going to come up and take this picture with these amazing young people because she's doing mentorships now in California and all across the country. Just show a little love for Miss Dawn Lewis as she comes up. Somebody say it's a different world, y'all. Reverend Wilson, Dr. Porter, Ms. Dawn, take this picture. Thank you so much. Make sure our team gets the picture. I knew somebody was going to do that. All right. One. Thank you so much. Servers, yes, you can come. Servers, you can come. Media, you can turn the music back on. We're going to begin the dinner portion, and then we will have the rest of our program shortly. But can we just give another hand of appreciation to these amazing young people? Thank you, Dr. Porter. Thank you, Reverend Wilson. Thank you, Don. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your dinner. We'll be back for the remainder of the program shortly, but enjoy your dinner, enjoy one another. Hold on, everybody, just 1 second.
Okay, I've been doing what I do for many, many decades. We need to give Miss Faith here another round of applause This young lady stood here and literally emceed the entire presentation without a script in her hand, as eloquently and as gracefully as anyone I have ever seen. You are a treasure, young lady. And I want to give honor and celebration to the parents and families and villages of each and every one of these young people. Oh my goodness. Do you want to be an actor?
Yes.
Okay, so the day we show up at the same audition, I'm not going to be nice to you. Because if it's me or you, guess what? You are absolutely brilliant and absolutely beautiful. God bless you. Thank you, everyone.
Enjoy your dinner. We shall return momentarily with the rest of our program, and enjoy one another.
I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Just break. I believe that with you by my side, together we can touch the skies. We will be better than ever. Made a promise we can do it together, and I ain't breaking my word. I just wish that I could fly like a bird, get away from this earth. Had to pray and pray, I felt that was cursed. Always tell myself it could have been worse. Never going back, I broke the reverse. It come from my soul, no need to rehearse. A lot of time I was in need of work. Talk to God like I needed to work. Jumped in line like I needed it first. But I was being selfish. You know this don't affect a lot of people. I was being careless. Took a break and stepped away. I'm coming back when I get ready. I know this breaks people into pieces, but I ain't gonna let it. Yo, Blaze, you crazy for this one. Hey, all the champions out there feel so good. Hey, I said it feels so good. We will, 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 we gon' make it. What didn't break me made me better. I believe that. Together, let's go. Striving for greatness, at the same time keeping my patience. Can't be racing to no early grave, I'm cool with just pacing. I can drop at any given time, I'm holding my aces. I see disappointment all in their faces. The turtles still cross the finish line. We done break the bar so many times, it's only right they give me mine. Diamond by myself, together we really shine. As long as I keep putting my faith and trust in God, I know that everything will be fine. Built for it, real stand up, God ain't never breaking my kind. I believe I can do anything, ain't never changing my mind. Life's all about patience, take it one day at a time. Life's all about patience, take it one day at a time, you know? Everybody say, don't you give up, you're one step closer. We gon' make it. We will, 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 we
I know you all have been enjoying your dinner and enjoying fellowship with each other. We thank you all so much. Again, wonderful evening, wonderful experience, wonderful time of fellowship with family, extended family, a family we love. And of course, we are all here because the vision, the leadership, the incredible direction that has been given to us, the insight has been provided, the path has been laid, and the blessings have been brought by none other than Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. Can we thank God for Reverend Jackson tonight? Thank God for him. He's going to spend some time with us today. He's been a part of the entire day and obviously all weekend, but he's going to help us celebrate some of our awardees momentarily. But as I mentioned at the very beginning, tonight is a sports and education celebration, and we're grateful to be able to combine the two areas that Rainbow Push has committed to, that Reverend Jackson has committed to, and what we call life beyond the playing field is what he has helped us to appreciate about sports, that when you are an athlete, you are always more than an athlete. We want to just show this quick highlight video to some of the work that we've been doing around the country. It's not just going to Super Bowl and All-Star games. It is really working with athletes, having conversations, and building programs that they use their platform for the greater good. Watch this video on Rainbow Push Sports.
Jesse Jackson.
Greetings, everyone. This is Dr. Joseph Bryant Jr., the National Sports Director for Reverend Jesse Jackson and the Rainbow Push Coalition. Tonight is beginning another journey. Athletes and activism, sports and social justice. We are here doing what we do, talking about sports and talking about the power of sports and how sports continues to transform lives. Many people don't know that Reverend Jackson has a huge background in the sports world, beginning actually as a student athlete himself.
I could play. My father, Charles Jackson, was a great baseball player. My parents couldn't afford to send me to college. I never remember them being out of debt. And so football gave me a chance to go to school, and I'm ever grateful. The athletics, I'm also concerned about how the athletes have been exploited in such a different kind of way.
That was part of Reverend Jackson's vision, that there would be more inclusion, more opportunities, that the NFL and other sports entities would not always look the same.
You can go from picking cotton balls to picking footballs. Picking cotton wasn't so bad if you could own the cotton sack and the cotton patch, and you could wear your cotton and mill it and sell it and turn it into textiles.
He asked myself and the original Isaiah Thomas to set up a platform called Life Beyond the Playing Field that would be a part of the engagement of Rainbow Push, that there would be opportunities for a seat at the table for those that were interested in being managers and coaches and minority owners, for there to be more chances for people of color and women to advance. So our objective as an organization is to continue to open doors. So that's what we're all about. That's why we're here. Thank you all. God bless you. He has championed life beyond the playing field. Can you all one more time show your appreciation for the wonderful leadership, not only in social justice, civil rights, but even in the athletic world, for our leader, Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. As you saw him in so many of those photos with athletes from yesterday and today, you saw him with Steph Curry and you saw him with D. Wade, and you saw him having those conversations with athletes over the generations about using their platform to impact the world. And so as part of the celebration tonight of Life Beyond the Playing Field and some of those honorees that we want to recognize, we're going to merge something that's been so significant to this organization and to Reverend Jackson, and that has been the HBCU world. He has allowed us, come on, shout out to the HBCU family. he has allowed us to be a part of all of the HBCU initiatives. As a matter of fact, some of you may not realize that it was Reverend Jackson's voice in the ears of the family that's known as the Rooney family that helped create what is known to us now as the Rooney Rule, that brings about diversity in the hiring practices in the National Football League and is replicated throughout the sports world. That is a product of the leadership of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. So again, what Reverend Jackson has done in impacting sports and impacting life beyond the playing field has been amazing. And such as it is, our first honoree, we want to just show you a quick clip of him because he happens to be a coach at an HBCU. Why don't you watch this video now of Coach Hugh Jackson.
When I think of the legacy that Grambling State University has portrayed to everybody, it's something I'll ask my team is who's going to be the next Hall of Famer? I think we all understand when you think of Grambling, you think of winning, you think of championships, you think of great coaches, great players. And my job is to uphold that and see if I can take it to a whole different level. I took this job because I know and understand exactly what's expected. What's expected is to win championships, to compete for those titles year in and year out, and to graduate our student athletes and have them do something worthwhile with their lives. Because we want to reclaim what's really ours. We should own the I-20 corridor, and we're going to do everything we can to do that. But in order to do that, we need all the coaches and all the players here, and we're challenging all the coaches and all the student athletes that are on the I-20 to come on out here and see what kind of staff we have, come and see what we're trying to accomplish, and come be a part of something great.
Can we make a little noise for Grambling State University head coach Hugh Jackson? What other HBCUs? Are there some HBCUs in the house? I think I heard some of y'all make some noise, right? As a matter of fact, Coach Jackson, he had conversations with Reverend Jackson right before he was hired for this job. They had a phone conversation after they had met prior to that because he was actually encouraging Coach Jackson when he was fired from the National Football League to look into taking the path of coaching our HBCU world. And so here he is, Coach Jackson now at Grambling State. He wasn't able to make it tonight. He had a change in his schedule at the last minute, but he wanted to send his video to thank Reverend Jackson and the organization for this award, recognizing him for life beyond the playing field. Here is Coach Hugh Jackson.
I am honored to be recognized as a recipient of an award with so much meaning and by such an incredible organization. Social justice issues and disparities in education and opportunity have existed since the birth of this great country. Many have chosen to turn a blind eye and too often a deaf ear to the cries of those who want nothing more than what every person deserves, respect and dignity. Dr. King and Reverend Jackson have been the voice for those who pleas have fallen upon deaf ears. They have walked the miles, blazing a path forward for others to follow. They have prayed with for those whose hearts are heavy, and they have inspired generations to not only follow in their footsteps, but to take on the role of protector and leader. Through their persistence and unwavering commitment to all mankind, we have made monumental steps forward, advancement in education, and opportunity for all, particularly at historically black universities and colleges. When I was provided the opportunity to step into the role of leader at an early age, I never saw myself where I am today. What I envisioned was only a small fraction of what I experienced. By the grace of God, hard work, and dedication, I was able to achieve what most men of color had not done in my lifetime: become a head coach in the National Football League, not once, but twice. It was my journey that showed me that being at best at what you do was not always good enough. It also showed me that I owed it to others to give them the opportunity to be at their best, regardless of where they grew up, who their parents were, or what decade they were born into. My journey brought me to Grambling State University as the head football coach. In the back of my mind, I always knew that it was different at HBCUs than at any other institution, but I never dreamt it was this different and difficult. Being able to bring a different set of opportunities as Grambling is truly a blessing. At the end of each long and challenging day, I can rest knowing that I made a positive difference in someone's life, that I get another chance to do the same the very next day. I know that these young men need more, not more than their peers, but more than what society has provided. I know that they are worthy of the same things and the same blessings, and I know that oftentimes they are in need of more prayer. And I know that now I too can be the voice for those who are silenced. I know that I can light a path for others to follow, and I know that I can help others find their courage to blaze their own path. Thank you for this honor and inspiration.
Let's give it up for Coach Jackson, and he will be receiving his award. And again, in the spirit of this night, as I mentioned at the beginning, it's ironic, but yet it's thematically appropriate as we acknowledge so much of our work with HBCUs. Some of you know we have an HBCU college tour that's starting this coming Saturday. We're going to talk more about that. We have so many connections with HBCUs. We've been a part of HBCU initiatives with the leagues over these past several years. We're acknowledging, of course, some honorees tonight that are connected to HBCUs. We're going to have a little conversation because there's one thing to be able to play the sport and be able to get scholarships and opportunities. But what about all those students at HBCUs that need, not only, as Coach Jackson said, our prayers, but need financial support? They need skills. They need some tools to succeed. And so there's a program that we've collaborated with for the past several years that is doing just that all around the country. It was founded by former NBA player George Lynch and the amazing, incomparable marketing genius of Tracy Pennywell. They have a program. We're acknowledging them tonight. We're honoring them tonight, but we also want to support their program in collaboration with Push. Can you show your love to our honorees as we have a conversation with George Lynch and Tracy Pennywell? We're going to show y'all video in a minute, but I want to talk to you first. Just show your love again for Coach and for Tracy real quick. We had a couple of minutes, and I wanted to just take advantage of this time because Rainbow Push has been able to work with you all for the past several years, and we've seen all over the country how you all are investing in young people, training them, opening doors for them, bringing corporations in for opportunities for internships and all these different things. Can you just share what was in your heart, George, when you launched HBCU Heroes?
First, I would like to thank Rainbow Push Coalition and Dr. Bryant for honoring HBCU Heroes. The opportunity started out honestly. After my playing days, I got into college coaching. I started at UC Irvine, went to SMU, coached in the G League, and then I had the opportunity to be a first head coach and lead a program. And Tracy and I both went to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. And when I finished playing college basketball, I thought every college student athlete had the same experience that I had. Carolina brainwashed me. So when I went to these other universities, you know, as I went from smaller D1s, UC Irvine, SMU, and went to an HBCU, I saw the discrepancy between the resources the programs had. I tell and share this story. When I first got to my HBCU, I don't want to say the name, but if you look it up, you can.
I'll drop it in a minute.
Yeah. So when I first got there, my team didn't have basketballs. Someone had stole all the basketballs. So I was like, how can we be a basketball team if we don't have balls? And then as the preseason went on, my guys were coming in and wasn't looking like a team. And I found out that we didn't have practice uniforms. So Tracy and several other alumni from the University of North Carolina that lived in the Atlanta area wanted to support. And we started HBCU Heroes to support student athletes on my men's basketball team. And then right around COVID, in 2018-19, when COVID hit, we realized that more students other than student athletes, not just at my university, but throughout the country at HBCUs, there was a divide between technology, laptops, and computers when they were sent home to finish their education.
That's right. That's right.
And it hurt me to the core because out of my 13 student athletes, 9 of them did not have their own laptops. So we asked some friends that we had in relationships. We started raising money for computers, giving out computers. And then as I talked to people within the conference, ADs and other coaches, there were football programs, women's basketball, women's volleyball, didn't have laptops. So the schools didn't have resources to share and give the laptops to their students. So we went on our crusade of computers, and then as we talked to the students, not the student athletes, but the everyday student at HBCUs, they were lacking internships, they were lacking, help with resumes. The resources in the career centers just wasn't available, and that's how HBCU Heroes came about.
And here you are now as the coach of Clark Atlanta University.
Yeah, he was, not anymore.
But during that time, when we met, and actually we met before that, and then when you were a coach at Clark Atlanta, one of the things that I was touched by was that you knew that your platform as a former player could help leverage more doors to open. And even though you're not there now, you're an ambassador going around. I literally just saw him a week ago in Las Vegas, and as an ambassador trying to open more doors, talking to current NBA players, former NBA players, coaches, and executives to get them to pour back in. So even though you're not wearing that coaching hat today for them, what you're doing now for all students is even bigger. Can we just show some love to George for that? Tracy, you've helped put some nuts and bolts to all of this, and you have talked to me ad nauseum about the lack of resources among HBCU students. We want our children to be educated. We want them to have the best, and oftentimes that is the path they need to take. What have you been doing, and what has been on your heart, your passions, about trying to provide more resources for all students, student athletes, obviously, but all students that you've seen at HBCUs and the needs that have been so great?
Okay, so first, like George, I got to take a side note to say. I know Reverend Jackson has left the table, but I will say this, because I grew up half my life in Greensboro, where the Aggie pride is deep, deep, deep in Greensboro. So I've gone to my share of A&T homecomings. I know there's probably some Aggies in here, so we got to give the Aggie pride. We got to do that for Reverend Jackson for his school. So that's number one. And then for taking over George, I don't know that I had a choice when George said that we were going to start HBCU Heroes, because he was like, look, I'm going to need you to come over here and help me. You know how people do, and you're thinking, okay, I'll do it for a couple of weeks or, a minute. And now it's been over 5 years. We've gone through COVID. No, we went to college together, although I'm 22 years younger than he is. So we do have that in common. And so for him having the inspiration to do this, first of all, George has always been a person who, he's always done basketball camps. He's always been so humble, unlike me, of course. And so us coming together and doing this has been a labor of love, but has been so gratifying for us. And so now we get to do things like, which you all know, because you have been at every single step of the way. And Rainbow Push has been helping us. You've personally mentored us. When we thought we should go right, you'd be like, well, maybe you should come back a little bit to the left. And so with your leadership and with you all giving us prizes and sponsorships for these students to incentivize them to learn financial literacy and career development, because it's not sometimes the grown and sexy thing that people want to come to seminars about. But so we've been able to do that. So now we are, as you know, because you're one of the speakers on it, we are doing a 22 campus HBCU tour starting up again in the fall. We're not getting to go to Howard because they didn't call us back. So we're going to be, now that you said you'd speak, yeah, that's what I know. So you saw how we locked you in this afternoon. Okay, all right. So here we go.
Texas
so, yeah.
Southern. Okay, here we go. They're going to start calling their names out. Here you go.
We got 4 HBCU homecomings that we're doing. We're doing 22 other HBCUs. And what we do, we speak about financial literacy, career development, tech literacy, because we all know, if we can just get real here for 1 second, we will use a cell phone, we'll use technology to call people, but when it comes to making our lives easier, to making our credit better, to doing things with budgeting, we just fall short, right? And so for us, we did the career summit this afternoon with some of the students here, and we talked about financial literacy. One of the things that we really want to be intentional about is making relationships with money easier, more positive, and better, so that we can all have better credit and build generational wealth. So that's what we're really passionate about right now. And so with your help, you already know we're gonna reel you in, right? You're gonna be our next Dr. B. Okay, perfect. And then we'll go to Howard next year. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're doing financial literacy, tech literacy, and career readiness and development across the HBCU.
Ladies and gentlemen, HBCU Heroes is doing such an amazing job. I think we have a little video. Can we just show the video of HBCU Heroes? And this is why we're acknowledging, honoring, and celebrating George and Tracy for their amazing work.
Welcome to HBCU Heroes, a nonprofit founded by visionaries Tracy Pennywells, a trailblazing speaker, marketing CEO, and AMP entrepreneur, and George Lynch, a revered NBA veteran and entrepreneur. Under their leadership, HBCU Heroes stands unwavering in our mission to empower HBCU students and young alum nationwide, equip them with the tools they need to conquer all facets of life, and create lasting legacies of generational wealth. Our 4 pivotal impact areas include financial literacy, tech literacy, career readiness, and life skills. Through tireless fundraising efforts, such as our annual Dollars for Scholars Giving campaign, we extend a helping hand, providing scholarships, funding, and needed resources to uplift HBCU students. HBCU Heroes is an unstoppable force and catalyst for change. Our impact is far-reaching, spanning voter drives, social impact movies, career fairs, esports tournaments, the HBCU Heroes Online Academy, and more. HBCU Heroes also forges formidable alliances with Fortune 500, finance, and big tech companies to unlock opportunities for students, fostering invaluable connections, internships, and game-changing careers. HBCU Heroes Secure the Bag Tour, created as a monthly online series during the pandemic, has blossomed into one of the most impactful HBCU tours in America. HBCUers gain access to an array of resources, programming, curriculum, and empowering fireside chats with celebrities. It's the roadmap for building legacies, bridging the wealth gap, and securing success across industries. We believe anyone can be an HBCU hero by investing time, resources, or plain old elbow grease. Heroes needed. Visit hbcuheroes.org to support.
Come on, give it up for HBCU Heroes, y'all. Again, this is the reason why this work is so important, and I've been grateful that Reverend Jackson, actually we introduced Reverend Jackson to George and Tracy. He fell in love with the program. He said, get behind it and whatever they need. And some of the resources we've been able to give them, not only a programmatic support, but some of the resources we received, some of our technology pieces, some of our equipment, we've been able to sow into them. And so your investment in education, your investment in this organization always matters. And as we're talking about HBCUs, the HBCU tour is going to be happening for our Push Excel students this Saturday. And the woman standing to my left has been doing a masterful job of coordinating the tour again another year. She is a college mentor guru extraordinaire, and she's going to acknowledge our educational honorees tonight. Can you all show your love, put your hands together, and appreciate Miss Kalana Kale?
Thank you, thank you. So, this night is so very special. We're talking about education and sports and honoring our HBCUs. And what better would be to be able to honor the people that are trailblazing, galvanizing, and doing the work in the community to help all of our young people succeed. So first we have Dr. Olivia Porter. She is an executive facilitator, speech language pathologist, and TEDx speaker who has traveled throughout the world facilitating high-energy, interactive workshops on topics such as communicating with confidence, articulation and diction, and conflict resolution. Her clients have included Allstate, Exelon, KPMG, Caterpillar, and Stritch School of Medicine. In addition, Olivia is a Chicago-based actress who has studied at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater, Acting Studio Chicago, and the British American Drama Academy at Oxford University in Oxford, England. She has acted in over 50 commercials, industrial films, and voiceovers spots for clients such as Citgo Gas, State Farm, Motorola, Whitehall, Jewelers, Walgreens, and Abbott Laboratories. In 2017, Olivia used her unique background in theater, training and development, and speech pathology to volunteer as a speech coach for the Push Excel IJC Oratorical Society, and in 2021, she took over as the director of the Oratorical Society. Thank you. Olivia holds a BA in sociology and a master's in human sciences in communication disorders. In her time, when time is not volunteering with PUSH, Olivia works as a speech language pathologist for children with special needs and teaches English as a second language. Thank you so very much for your service. We appreciate you. Next, we would like to honor Dr. Anthony Whitmore. Dr. Anthony Whitmore, humility and focus on doing what's right and giving back to his community is truly admirable. It's refreshing to see someone who is not seeing and seeking recognition or titles for their work, but is instead motivated by a desire to make a positive impact. Despite his modest approach, it's clear that Whitmore's work has not gone unnoticed, as he has received numerous honors and awards for his service to his community and beyond. His ability to connect with people from all walks of life and serve as a bridge between different groups is a testament to his dedication and effectiveness as a leader and ambassador for many. It's wonderful to hear that Anthony Whitmore and MLK Dayton Incorporated believe in the power of forgiveness and its potential to bring about a stronger community. Forgiveness can indeed be a difficult but ultimately liberating process, allowing individuals to let go of past hurts and move forward with greater clarity and compassion. Whitmore's experience teaching, working in government, and serving in international development also highlights the importance of recognizing the interconnectedness of our world and working to create positive change both locally and globally. His approach to leadership and service is a great example for us all to follow. The goal is always to create a more connected and compassionate community. Thank you very much for your service, Dr. Anthony Whitmore. Thank you. And then we have Stacey Davis Gates. Woo! I see you have a lot of supporters in the room. President of the Teachers Union, Executive Vice President of the Illinois Federation of Teachers, Vice President of the American Federation of Teachers, and Chair of United Working Families. Before her election to the office of president in 2022, Mrs. Davis Gates served 4 years as president of the union. Prior to that, she served as the union's political and legislative director. In the fall of 2019, she helped lead a 15-day strike and negotiate a historical contract that provides for smaller class sizes, ensures a nurse and social worker in every Chicago public school, and secures sanctuary protections for immigrant families. While at the CTU, Mrs. Davis Gates has been the architect of bold political and legislative campaigns for schools and cities that all Chicagoans deserve. She has raised millions of dollars to elect progressive leaders to city, county, and state government and the U.S. Congress. Her legislative efforts Also won the strongest charter school accountability measures in the country, restored full bargaining rights that have been denied to Chicago educators for nearly 3 decades, and helped secure millions of dollars in extra state funding for Chicago public schools. In 2017, Mrs. Davis Gates helped found United Working Families, an independent political organization by and working for class people and movements. She also serves as a board member of the Action Center on Race and the Economy, a nexus for organizations working at the intersection of the struggle for racial justice and Wall Street accountability. Mrs. Davis Gates is currently on leave from the classroom where she taught high school social studies for over a decade at Inglewood, Clemente, and Mason Community Links High Schools. She attended St. Mary's College, the University of Notre Dame, and Concordia University. Mrs. Davis Gates lives on the south side of Chicago with her husband and 3 children. Thank you so very much for your service. CTU, I hear. So as we said about the HBCU, we appreciate you for your support. The tour will leave this Saturday on the 22nd. We welcome all of you out to send off our young people as we take 2 busloads full of young people to North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, and we are also going to go to a host of cultural and corporate sites. We're excited, and we want you to continue to support them. Thank you.
We're going to ask Dr. Porter and Dr. Whitmore, as well as Stacey Davis Gates, if you all will come up really quickly. We want to make sure that each of you get a chance to say your good evenings to the house. Come on, show your appreciation to these 3 amazing honorees. They are all receiving our International Globe, and we will be making sure it's available to them. We didn't want anyone to have to carry this heavy piece home tonight. We were going to ship it to them directly, but let's just celebrate each of our honorees. Put your hands together one more time. Dr. Porter? All of your thanks and shout outs and hallelujahs.
Oh my God. My kid speaking was my hallelujah. But no, I am so honored. Thank you so much for this award. There really is nothing else for me to say except I'm so glad to be a part of the Push family. I'm so thankful for the volunteers and the parents who helped me with the orators. I'm so proud of my orators. And I mean, who am I? I was just a little kid who had a stutter, who was afraid to talk in public. I took my first acting class when I was 28 years old. And someone said, why do you keep taking classes? Why don't you just act? I said, huh? What? I'm too old. I ain't supposed to do that. And I did it. And it took me a long time to realize that anything is possible.
That's right.
And I'm so glad that I can impart on my kids at age 6 and 5 that anything is possible and nothing is more powerful than being a great communicator and understanding the spoken word. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Dr. Whitmore.
Good evening. Praise the Lord, somebody.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord, somebody. Unlike that beautiful, articulate young lady before you, she spoke of her youth. I bring you what happens when you live much longer. First, let me begin by thanking my frat brother and my old friend and wonderful, wonderful individual, the Reverend Jesse Jackson. The love that we have for Jesse in the great state of Ohio is phenomenal. I grew up in SCLC because of my godfather being chairman of the board. I also grew up within ACP. And when they brought in the Reverend Jesse Jackson, and we both, by the way, had hair then, I came across a man who had so many gifts and so many talents. And perhaps like many of us, I don't know what tomorrow holds, so I didn't know what it would hold for him or myself. But I definitely knew there was something great about this young man. But I had no idea how great. God has given us something special in that man.
That's right.
He's given us someone who thinks not of himself, but collectively of you and I. And if ever we needed leadership, we need it now. I love my people. I'm proud to be an African. Jesse always knew who he was. He didn't think who he was. You and I have a responsibility. I'm grateful that during a lifetime in which I've worked with civil rights leaders and human rights leaders, I know very little who has done what Reverend Jesse Jackson did, turning the baton over while he's alive. If any civil rights organization is to grow and to survive, we must have youth. If you have me on your board, then that's a problem. Because your future is as old as I am. And we're talking about not the past, but the future and the present. Get these young people involved. I love young people. If I could redo my life differently, I'd do it the same. I thank you for the privilege. I thank you for my handsome godson coming here, Cameron Barnes, who is a graduate of Central State University in Dayton, Ohio. And the other, I don't know where the other one is, Jesse Jones, back here, please. Thank you so much. God bless you both, gentlemen. And God bless Push. Push pushed us and changed our community. Now you and I must help our new leader to keep it going. Thank you, Pastor.
Stacey Davis Gates, everybody. I got some CTU folks in the house, right? Here you go.
So we bring our people with us. And we bring them with us because the sacrifice that they've made for public education in this city is such a big deal. As I listen to, I guess, my bio, I'm thinking about how insufficient and incomplete it is without the sacrifice, the love, the commitment, and the dedication of not just the people who are members of the Chicago Teachers Union, but all of the parents that send their children to the Chicago Public Schools, all of the young people that go to the schools, all of the community coalitions and organizations that help to reimagine, reshape, and transform in this city. That I don't get to own that privilege alone. So I'm always going to bring my people, our people with me, because this is an honor for them. It's not an honor for me. So I thank them. The second thing that I want to say, and I want to be real clear about this, is that I am so honored to always have the opportunity to be in the presence of Reverend Jackson. Reverend Jackson told me almost 10 years ago that I could do the job that I have today. And he says that you have a brilliant mind and you're a strategist and you can get this done. And today I stand here and I'll tell you that I was a chief strategist for our brother Brandon, who is the mayor of this city today. And again, back to the we and us. Because Reverend Jackson says that we don't get to salvation as a singular individual, we get there as a coalition, a rainbow coalition. We get there together with the plural pronoun. And so as we celebrate and honor and acknowledge the tremendous love that he has demonstrated for all of us, I need for us to understand that that love came at a sacrifice to his family. That love came at a sacrifice to potentially his own personal ambition. And that we have to commit ourselves to the vision that the young people on the stage gave us when they opened us. That when the playing field, this is Reverend Jackson now, this ain't me, but that when the playing field is level, when the rules are the same, when the officials call the same calls that our young people can compete, they can achieve, they can succeed, and they can be whomever in the world that they imagine themselves to be. And, see the word and, it is up to all of us to love them the way that Reverend Jackson has demonstrated love for us. So thank you.
Remain in place.
Thank you.
Again, these educators have touched our lives, and I just felt it was so significant and symbolic that someone we watched on television in an educational setting in a HBCU known as Hillman College. Not only does she continue to have acting and producing opportunities in live shows, but she started her own foundation because she didn't want education to be something that was televised, but something that was realized. And so here it is, this video, as we recognize and appreciate Dawn Lewis for her incredible impact. Here she is, Dawn Lewis.
Dawn Lewis is a multi-talented and multifaceted award-winning individual. A Trumpet Award, Grammy Award-winning singer, multiple NAACP Image Awards, BMI and ASCAP Award-winning songwriter, film, television, and stage actor, a series TV creator/producer, and an inductee into the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame 2021. Her early career includes being an original cast member of Hanging with Mr. Cooper and the groundbreaking series A Different World. She was also composer of the show's theme song. Dawn's most recent projects include the original Broadway cast of Tina, the Tina Turner musical, a special appearance on 911, and a recurring role in the award-winning series Grey's Anatomy. Currently, she can be heard on several animated series, including Star Trek Lower Decks, Futurama, The Simpsons, and Karma's World. She was added this season to the cast of the hit series Young Rock starring Dwayne Johnson, as well as to the reboot of the fan favorite Veronica Mars. Dawn is the president and CEO of Morning Jewel, Inc., a multi-platform production company of film, television, animation, music, and music publishing projects. She is also the founder and CEO of the A New Day Foundation, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide empowerment and programmatic support to underserved youth and communities across the country and abroad. In 2019, Dawn received an honorary doctorate in humane letters for her more than 35 years of unwavering service and support to underserved youth and communities. Dawn serves on several boards and is a spokesperson for a variety of organizations, such as the National Advisory Board of the National Center for Civil and Human Rights, the SAG-AFTRA National Board of Directors, the KIS Foundation for Sickle Cell Disease, UNCF, American Heart Association, American Cancer Society, and the Empower Her Institute. Dawn also finds time to teach master classes, mentor youth, and give motivational lectures.
Just last week, Rainbow Push was able to partner with Dawn and her organization at USC to do a day of mentorship, and all that you heard on the video is just a snippet of what she's been as a gift to us. Can you all welcome and celebrate our honoree, Miss Dawn Lewis?
Thank you, Pastor. I'm a little speechless right now. You know, God blesses you.
Amen.
If you're lucky to get up each day and maximize the blessing of being able to walk, talk, see, breathe, engage, re-engage, stimulate, educate, but most importantly, to be grateful. Grateful for the opportunity. Grateful for stepping in and maximizing all that he makes available to you. So when I watch that video, you know that you did all of that, but then you look and say, dang, I did all of that. And I'm sorry, I'm a little emotional right now. Because while you're in it, and I know I'm not in this on my own, all of these amazing people who are being honored here. Does somebody have a tissue? Okay. Lord Jesus, don't let me win an Oscar. I'll never make it. all of these people who are up here, through their tireless effort, through their commitment for so much beyond themselves, I know you know what I'm talking about, where as much as it is in your spirit to do what you do, to be a blessing to others, there's that other side of the reality that you have to admit, I am exhausted. I am frustrated. I feel beaten. I feel, why am I doing this? But there's something that keeps you in the fight. Am I lying?
That's right. That's right.
There's something that keeps you in the fight.
Come on now.
There's this young person, when those young people stood up and spoke earlier, that's why I'm in the fight. That's right. That's why we do what we do. When you see countless news reports, countless articles, countless photographs of our black men, young and old, being beaten, being minimized. And you see a young boy, 4 and 5 years old, who says, okay, I'm so sorry that my dad had to take those punches, but I'm so proud that my dad took those punches so I can stand here today and be the next step to be the future of all that my dad is suffering through and for, all that my mother is suffering through and for. We stand as a village. And I am so honored and grateful to have been part of a legacy of a show like A Different World. And like any other performer, creative person in the room, truth be told, we were all just grateful to have a job. We were lucky to be working. Right now, there are thousands of my brothers and sisters across the country, abroad, standing in solidarity for better conditions for us to keep working. So none of us are working now. The writers are not working. But like anything that requires change, anything that requires improvement, anything that requires equity, those that hold the cards don't want to let them go. So the rest of us need to stand together, bound together in solidarity to demand change, to demand improvement, to demand advancement, to demand inclusion. And one way or another, it will happen.
That's right.
Because we either stand together or we fall together. I'm not trying to fall. God is so good.
Yeah.
God is so good, and I'm so grateful to be here in Chicago. Thank you, Rainbow Push. It was 1989 when this handsome, eloquent,
come on now. Oh my God.
okay, came from Chi-Town and did one of these up on the set of A Different World. And it was none other than Reverend Jesse Jackson, who graced our set, who graced our episode, who empowered and encouraged and lit the fire under young African-American boys and girls to get up and vote and take their responsibility in this country seriously. I am so honored to have become a friend over these many decades, both to him personally and to Rainbow Push. That fire, it doesn't die. It doesn't die. But it's on each and every one of us and then some to keep that torch lit. So again, the way I started this, I give all honor and grace to God that he sustained me through everything that he's carried me through thus far, and continuing to fortify me for everything he has yet to release in my path, that I just keep putting one foot in front of the other to do what we do. In just 6 short years of the A New Day Foundation, we have amazingly been able to provide well over $200,000 in scholarship and computer provisions for our college-bound students, whether they are in college or having graduated from high school, attending college. So yes, I know the importance of a laptop. We've given out about almost 100 of them in just 6 years, and well over $200,000 in scholarship dollars to make sure our kids get the education that they want to have. And our foundation, our annual conference, where you sent the team, the focus is, people would think, you want to teach them how to sing and dance, etc. And that's not the focus, not of our annual conference. It focuses on financial literacy and technology, because we want our young people to be competitive. We want them to have value in the marketplace. And it's not just for the students, but it's for their parents as well. Because we want them to be empowered, to understand what's happening around them, to understand how they can fit and flow into their own future success. So I thank you. I thank you for sending that team. I thank you so very much. So thank you again. I'm truly honored to be standing with each and every one of you as we each fill our lanes toward magnificence, not just for ourselves, actually not for ourselves at all. We're all up here because of what we have decided and dedicated ourselves to do for others. So thank you for being here to celebrate us tonight. I honor each and every one of you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's again thank God for all of our honorees, our educational honorees. We're going to ask George and Tracy to come back, our sports honorees. We're going to have remarks from our Push Excel board director, our board president, and we're going to acknowledge our Push Excel board. We've got to be able to do that because Push Excel, again, on the front lines to open doors of education. And so we're going to hear from none other than the phenomenal, the genius, and the beautiful homegirl from the Bay Area, Dr. Julianne Malveaux. Come on.
Well, good evening, y'all. Come on now. We do call and response in the hood. Good evening, y'all. Good to hear from y'all. I saw Freddie Haynes slide up here. Is Freddie still here? Oh, he's hiding. Freddie, don't do that to me. I call your name, you're supposed to say, yo, girl. Okay. This is my homeboy, but he is also the successor of Reverend Jackson. Not fitting his shoes, but standing on his shoulders, as we all do. We are so proud of you, and we look forward to the great things that are going to happen because you will be our leader. I am grateful. So I'm not going to keep y'all long. I'm supposed to make a few remarks. I'm sorry that I came in late, Rev. I was fooling with Roland Martin, who had a great interview with Freddie. It showed today that he did with you yesterday, and it was a very good interview. He also had some snippets from Sunday's program, including our vice president, including Reverend, of course. Just an amazing, Roland is just the bomb. If you all are not, he doesn't pay me to say this, but y'all have to at least download the app.
Please.
Send a little money. He's this is not CNN, ABC, NBC. And guess what? We got more play, Rainbow, than all these other CNN, NBC. This should have been a front page of the New York Times, but it's up in the B section somewhere. The Washington Post, as much as Reverend has done for Washington, D.C., up in the back somewhere. This is, okay, Jeanette Wilson is here. She's my executive director, so I will not use my indoor language. Those of y'all who know me well know I have language.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I often use motor scooters. See, I got indoor language. But in any case, it's nonsense what the press has done to attempt to bury Reverend's legacy. This is a legacy that cannot be buried.
Say it out.
I was telling folks, I don't know how long I've known Reverend. It's been a long time. Because I'll just tell the truth of myself. I'll be 70 on September 22nd. Write it down and send me presents. But I tell people all the time, I tell it because I don't look it. Amen. If I looked it, I would not tell it. But in any case, all I want to say, first I want to thank everybody here for being here, for supporting Rainbow and Push Excel through all these years. We have given away millions of dollars in scholarship funds. I am the former president of Bennett College for Women.
That's right.
The current dean of the College of Ethnic Studies at Cal State LA for another week. Jackie Jackson said to me, how come you and Santita keep quitting jobs? I said, because when we get tired of the job, we just book. Actually, I have a lovely opportunity to finish a book. It's called Lynching, the Wealth Gap in Reparations.
My.
Many people believe that lynching happened because black men were craving white women. BS. Most lynchings happened because black people had too much money. Because I'll just tell one quick story. Thomas Crawford. This brother had 425 acres of what they call good cotton land. Good cotton land. Today would be worth more than $10 million. Okay, in the newspaper they describe him as a wealthy Negro and arrogant. I love it. We all need to be arrogant. We got something to be arrogant about. We survived. But in any case, Thomas Crawford went to sell his cottonseed one day at the general store. A white man standing in front of him was offered 95 cents a pound for cottonseed. He was offered 85 cents. He said, I want the same deal the white man got. And they went back and forth. My brother said to them, he said, I'd rather throw my cottonseed into the damn river, he said damn, than to sell it underpriced. There was a law against cursing at a white person. Now, he didn't call the white man a damn fool. He was cursing his own damn cottonseed. You know what I'm saying? But they arrested him. The fine was $15. He reached in his pocket and said, here. Mm-hmm. So that was the arrogant part. Before he left the store, they had tied him up. They lynched him. They let his body sit until it disintegrated. But the worst part, the lynching was the worst part. But the other part was 2 white men who were his competitors were appointed executor of his estate. And those 2 white men told his wife and children, y'all got 30 days to get off this property. That's what lynching was about. It was not about sex with white women. And why Ida B. Wells documented it well, so have many others. But see, this is the story they don't want us to know. This is why 44 states have introduced legislation to prevent the teaching about race. 44 states, including states in the South, Freddie, in the South, but now, you know, I love you coming to Rainbow, but you got work to do in Texas. You know, I will come down and help you. Now that I ain't got no job. But in any case, the bottom line here is that our people have been attempt to be erased. People want to erase what happened. Mm-hmm. They don't want people to feel bad about what happened. Well, hell, enslavement felt bad. Yeah. So you have these people that we don't want this to feel bad. It's not about feelings, it's about history.
That's right.
It's about what happened and what we need to do about it. And as long as we have the example of a Reverend Jackson,
that's right,
the leadership of a Freddie Haynes, what we have to do is ensure that this nonsense is not implemented. This nonsense is not implemented. The Supreme Court has gone completely wild. They packed the court, and quite frankly, Barbara Arnwine, I have a job for you. Can we get these people out? Can we do something? They basically perjured themselves. They perjured themselves in their confirmation hearings. Can we do something about that? Okay, because all of them need to be thrown up under a jail. You know, let's not even, okay, I'm not going to go there. But the Supreme Court is wrong. North Carolina, they're attempting to change the way people vote. You know, there is work to do, y'all. That's all I have to say. Dawn said it well. And these honorees, I just have to bow. Amazing people doing amazing work.
That's it. Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And Dawn, you know, I've been a fan forever. And where's my sister educator there? There you are. You know, what we're seeing is a workers' revolution right now. We see people going on strike. We need to support these people going on strike. Because what we see is the underpayment of so many people. You know, I'm a labor economist. When I'm not running my mouth, I actually study the economy. But, you know, when we look at what's happening with labor, what we're seeing is a tax on people's ability simply to feed their families. Simply to feed their families. They are attempting to put people back into debt peonage, which is something that occurred in 17th century England. And now it's happening here in these United States. Debt peonage. We see what's going on in terms of people attempting to take people's property because of debt. We see what's going on in terms of our young people. President Biden tried so hard to get student loan relief. But the devil and his cohorts on the Supreme Court did not let it happen. So the average black child graduates with almost $30,000 more debt than the average white child. Not to mention the fact that about 40% of white kids graduate with no debt. So if you look at the average numbers, you have to play with them. In other words, if you had, never mind, I'm not going there, that's calculation. But the bottom line is that they want our young people to delay adulthood. So how many folks are living in their mama's house? surfing on their mama's couch,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because they can't afford to begin their adulthood, buy a house, you know, young people are delaying marriage
Mm-hmm.
because they cannot afford to marry. Because quite frankly, who want a broke ass? Oh.
I knew if we let her go, and she was going to go.
Anyway,
Dr. Malvo, acknowledge your board, so we don't want to miss anybody.
Absolutely.
Acknowledge your
Let
board.
me stop. I saw John Graves here. John Graves is somewhere. He's one of the other. There are 4 rainbow boards, and if there are any of the other board chairs here, I chair Push Excel, which is the education arm. Are there other board chairs here?
Any of our other board chairs, Push Excel, Rainbow Push, CEF, Operation Push, any other board members?
Okay, what about board members?
Members?
We had a long board meeting today.
Mm-hmm.
Was very good, got a lot done. Any board members here?
All right.
And then always I must acknowledge you, Rev,
Thank
for
you.
sports work.
Appreciate it.
And you, Rev, all these Revs, I don't know. You know what? The first time my mama met Armstrong Williams, she poured holy water on him. Because she wanted to bless him. I'm surrounded. I guess they're going to pour holy water on me when I get off this stage. But
well,
and it's all good. It is all good. I love the Lord. She blesses me. She blesses me.
Can you all show some love to this amazing gift? There's none other.
I'm through.
None other.
Freddie.
Like Dr. Malvo. And as we prepare to close, again, we're going to ask you to stand to your feet. But as we prepare to close, we want to acknowledge all of our sponsors. Thank you all for being here. Can we just show some love to our sponsors? All of our sponsors, Verizon, thank you so much. Many of our sponsors had to go, but we thank you for being here. Let's give a mad shout out of love to our media team, our audiovisual team. They have been the bomb all weekend. Thank you so much. We want to clear, and of course to our photographers, thank you so much for giving us wonderful shots. We want to clear the room. They have used this room all day, and we want to make sure the staff of this wonderful facility gets a chance to break it down again and get ready for tomorrow. Don't come up for any pictures just yet, because we need to hear from our president. Can you all put your hands together, show your love, gratitude, appreciation, and support for our president? That is none other than Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Haynes. Come on, Dr. Haynes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen, after Julianne Malvo, I would open the doors of the church. I don't know what church it would be, but I just want to say congratulations and thank you. It's been a powerful evening. Push Excel. The word needs to get out on the street and in the suites what Push Excel is doing. Changing lives, transforming trajectories, and so we owe a debt of gratitude. They are writing their signature on the future, to use the language of Shakespeare. So thank you so much, Push Excel. And speaking of someone who writes her signature on the future and our hearts with her amazing, phenomenal voice, gifts, and content, the amazing Santita Jackson is celebrating her birthday today. And we got to at least give you some flowers while you can smell them. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. No, we love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Don, you want to sing happy birthday to her? Because you got the voice.
How you going to put me on the spot? Just like that? There you go. Everybody else is saying, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. One chorus. Here we go. Say happy birthday. Come on, say happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Slow it down. Happy birthday. Amen.
Thank you. Have an amazing evening, and let's thank God for our kids and these phenomenal gifts, and even Julianne Malvo. Amen. God bless you. Have an amazing night. Thank you.
God bless you. Our photographer is coming to take one picture of our honorees
young man
with
who's been in a rather sad and melancholy mood, feeling insignificant, impotent, worthless, that he did not count.
Here you are.
As I thought about him, it occurred to me that his real problem was he felt that as one person, he could not make a difference. The change in America that's taken place in the last 30 years has occurred because somebody thought that they could make a difference. The changes did not come from Wall Street, or the White House, or the Congress, the courts. They always started by some young person who thought that they could, in fact, make a difference. Rosa Parks got on a bus one day. The sign above the driver's head read, "The colored seat from the rear, white seat from the front. Violators will be punished by law." She refused to go to the back of the bus.
Yes, you did.
And she was arrested. Dr. King went to her rescue, a 26-year-old student, and told her, "Better let you walk in dignity than ride in shame. One person can make a difference." In 1957, 9 students at Little Rock Central High in Arkansas went to school one day led by the Army. They refused to bow. They made a difference.
Made a difference.
In the next few years, young America died that we might live. Medgar Evers was killed in cold blood about this right to vote. Serena Goodman and chained 2 Jews and an African American were bulldozed to death with their eyes wide open in Philadelphia, Mississippi, about this right to vote. Jimmy Lee Jackson's 15-year-old African American student shot and killed in Marion, Alabama, about this right to vote. 4 darling little girls blown up in the church in Birmingham, Alabama one Sunday morning, all about the right to vote. They made a difference.
Made a difference. Yes, yes.
You must make a difference. Whenever students are sober and sane and sensitive and put hope in their brains and not dope in their veins, they can always make a difference. Because they died, your generation has the power. John Kennedy was elected by a margin of 112,000 votes. Less than 1 vote per precinct. Everybody counts. Nixon beat Humphrey by 550,000 votes. Carter beat Ford by 1,700,000. Fewer than 3 million votes elected 3 presidents in 16 years. Today there are 3.2 million high school seniors alone graduating. They should come across that stage with a diploma in one hand and a voter card in the other, because they can make a difference. $12 million college students must vote. You have the power. You must not have the attitude. It's not my aptitude, but my attitude that determines my altitude or how high I will go. My mind is a pearl. I can learn anything in the world. Just because it rains, I don't have to drown. I may have been born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me. I can rise above my circumstance. Hands that once picked cotton can now pick presidents. You want to free Mandela and free South Africa? Let's vote about it. Let's vote about it. Let's vote about it.
Take the photo first. Since we got let's bring down the hill. Got it.